Hello students. In today's class we are going to discuss on a topic that is Chandragupta II or Vikramaditya. He was the great ruler of Gupta dynasty. We have been discussed on the topic Samudragupta in previous class. Now we are going to discuss on Chandragupta Vikramaditya. So very first we have to understand that whenever we explore the history of any particular dynasty, so we seek for some kind of sources. Here in historical age we have all type of sources like archaeological sources, like written sources, scriptures, inscriptions, artifacts, and third one is pilgrim accounts. So here also we try to understand with these particular sources. So very first we have sources to know the history of Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Very first we understand some inscriptions. Very first inscription that describe about Chandragupta Vikramaditya, that is Mehrauli inscription. When we look at this particular inscription, there is a description of a name Chandra and a king that name Chandra. This inscription describe about some accomplishments of that particular king. Number one, there is a description that he conquered Bengal. Bengal means eastern region of Indian subcontinent. Then second point, he also conquered Bahalik. Bahalik means the river Sindhu and the 7 associated rivers of Sindhu. The place that is called Bahalik actually, not Bactria actually, that is Bahalik. We will discuss later on what is this Bahalik. Then third one is South India, where he conquered. And fourth one is written that he was the follower of Vishnu, God Vishnu. So he was actually Vaishnav, I think. Now we analyze this particular inscription. So we will find that it is very close to Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Now, if we take a look on Samudragupta Prayag commendation or Prayag Prashasti, when we see here that he described that he conquered against Chandravarma in Bengal, and it is situated in Bankura district of that particular Paschim Bengal. And if we take a look on Kumargupta's inscription, we can see here that he also conquered Bengal. And Kundavardhan place, it was in Bengal, and that was a particular province of Bengal dynasty that is called Kundravardhan. Now we don't found any conquest of Kumargupta first. So we can see that Chandragupta only win this particular area. At the time of Samudragupta, eastern boundaries of his dynasty was covered with some or 5 specific dynasties. They were Samtat, Davak, Kamrup and Kartpur and Nepal. Samtat, Davak, Kamrup, Kartpur and Nepal. And they also accepted his subordinateship. After Samudragupta, we can realize that Ramgupta was a weak ruler, so they became free again and they made an alliance against Gupta dynasty. Afterwards, Chandragupta Vikramaditya conquered against these 5 and again restore his dynasty towards eastern region. Now we try to explore or try to know about the Bahalik word. What the place exactly Bahalik? So some historians describe that it is the place that is Bahalik. It is situated between the Sindhu and its associated rivers, and it was not actually the Bactria. Bactria in Greek rule, that was not exactly Bactria, but Bahalik place was a different place. And D.R. Bhandarkar also described on the study of Ramayana and Mahabharata, and he said that it was situated between Punjab and between the Vyas and Sindhu river, and around these rivers. In Ptolemy's Geographica, he also described about this Bahik region, and he write it Bahik means the area belongs to 5 rivers, and the Kushans were also reside at that particular place. Afterwards, they migrated in this particular area and settled down. So Kushan were called Bahik actually. And in Maharoli inscription, there is a word Bahalik that is similar with the Kushan actually. So they were actually later Kushans. So we can describe with this opinion, and we can go for this opinion that Bahalik actually the word used that is denoted to Kushans. They were later Kushans actually, and they were residing in that particular Punjab region. And afterwards they accepted subordinateship of Samudragupta, and in Ramgupta time period they also declared their freedom. When Chandragupta Vikramaditya became ruler, he also tried to restore his dynasty, and he suppressed this particular Bahalik tribe. They were actually later Kushans and in Punjab. So he conquered against them and he won them. So this is clear that the Bahalik area was related to that particular Punjab region, and the ruler of that particular area were Bahalik or later Kushans. Another description says that Chandragupta Vikramaditya also conquered against Shaks or Scythians, and Scythians were after this particular Bahalik. So it is clear that he also conquered Bahalik place, and afterwards he conquered to Shaks. So it is clear that Punjab area, that particular later Kushans, they were called Bahalik, were under his dynasty. Now next paragraph we can write here that Chandragupta also very famous in South Indian region, and for this he ever know that to direct control is not possible in that particular area, because at the time of Samudragupta he also conquered and he started his policy Grahan Mokshanugraha. So as we know that he also knew this particular fact that he cannot control and cannot hold this particular region directly. So he made some treaties and made some political and marital relationship with that particular regions and that particular dynasty. So we can see here that he particularly established his marital relationship with Vakataks and Kadamba dynasty. Here we can see his daughter Prabhavati Gupta was married to Vakatak king, and in the time of Prabhavati Gupta, Vakataks were much influenced with Gupta dynasty. There is a description in King Bhoj. He wrote his literature Shringar Prakasha. Shringar Prakasha says that Chandragupta also sent Kalidas as his representative or his ambassador to Kuntal dynasty. Ruler was Kakut Suvarma. So with this fact we can understand that he also controlled to Kuntal, and he specifically holds some part of that Kuntal dynasty, because description of Kalidas also described that he directly controlled to Kuntal dynasty. He was follower of Vishnu god. So he was called Vaishnav actually. So these all descriptions we mostly especially found in Mehrauli inscription, and some historians says that his son or successor Kumargupta created this in the memory of his father, his great father and great ruler Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Chandragupta Vikramaditya was, as we know, that follower of God Vishnu, so he accepted the title of Param Bhagavat. Some historian says in near Varanasi, in Dakshin southeast region of Varanasi, they found a stone statue of a horse, and on this particular statue there is a word written Chandragu, means Chandragupta II. So they wanted to relate with this word with Chandragupta II, and they said that he also organized or practiced this particular Ashwamedha Yagna. But some historians says that is a story that cannot be true, but some historians says that that can be possible, that he practiced Ashwamedha Yagna also. Chandragupta Vikramaditya was a great ruler. He was not a great ruler, but he was a great administrator also. And he was very constructive, creative mind. In his 40-year rule, there was much peace and stability and prosperity can be seen in that particular dynasty. And he also appointed his very competent subordinates like ministers and secretaries also. His chief secretary was Veer Sen Shah, and he described his inscription in Udaygiri that was written by Veer Sen Shah. Maybe he may be a governor of Malwari. In Basad inscription, there is a description that Chandragupta II's son Govind Gupta was governor of Tir-Bhukti area. Now we found some name of officials or the posts that has been created by Chandragupta Vikramaditya in his dynasty. First name was Uprik. Uprik was actually a governor of that particular province. Second one name was found that is called Kumaramatya. It is a post, and that was a specific type of administrative officer like IAS now, and he was very important at that particular time. Third one was Baladhikrat. Baladhikrat actually was a supreme commander of army, and his office was called Baladhikaran. Next one important officer was Rana Bhandaragaradhikrat. Rana Bhandaragaradhikrat. That was actually the chief officer of the store or army store, or we can say armament or the artillery department. So he was actually storekeeper or chief storekeeper of this armament or artillery department. Next important officer was Dand Pashik. He was the chief of police department. Next, Mahadand Nayak. He was a chief justice of that particular dynasty. Next one was Vinay Sthiti Sthapak. Vinay Sthiti Sthapak means an officer that he has a duty to maintain law and order and to maintain the peace in that particular dynasty. Next was Atashvapati. He was the supreme commander of rider army, horse rider army. Next important officer was Mahapratihar. He was actually chamberlain, and he has a duty to secure the gate and the boundary of particular fort and the particular dynasty. So this is the first part of Chandragupta Vikramaditya's lecture, and students, I think you make your proper notes with this particular lecture, and the next lecture we will discuss more about the Chandragupta Vikramaditya. Okay, till then, good day.